There are 9 things that we say narcissists absolutely positively cannot have. Okay, there may be 1 or 2 exceptions in this, but stop for a moment and think about it. The narcissist in your life, does he or she have these things? Now, I know narcissists who are exceptions to some of these things. We may talk about that, but number 1 is it seems that narcissists, they just don't have any friends. Now, I'm not saying they're not friendly. I'm not saying that they are not charismatic, that they are not surrounded by people who almost, I don't want to say adore them, but at least accept them as if they were like a cult leader, but these are not their friends. These are people that they use. It's kind of like saying that a farmer has chickens, and the chickens are his friends. Well, the farmer's kind of weird. I guess that could be true, but in the case of a narcissist, that's as close to having friends as he'll ever get or she'll ever get. Rather than having a circle of friends, they have a circle of people that they abuse and use, people that they keep in the hen house so that when time comes, they can have them over for dinner. In the meantime, they just take their eggs. Number 2, and again, there are exceptions to this, but most narcissists that I have dealt with do not like to work, so they don't have jobs. Now, there are a lot of good reasons for people not to have jobs. People who are autistic, for example, have a really tough time holding down work because, well, they are a little bit eccentric and they want to work. Most of them, they want to work. They do good jobs when they do work, but because they just don't seem to fit socially, they are challenged. Not true with a narcissist. The reason that a narcissist does not work is because he doesn't want to be under the authority of another person. Another reason a narcissist doesn't work, we may do a whole series on this, a whole video rather on this, is because it's not just that they, don't want to be under authority, but also they feel entitled. The world owes them a living. I mean, literally, the world owes them a living. I knew a narcissist once who said something to me, I assume he was a narcissist, that he wanted to live off other people's money. In other words, he wanted to be a bum. He wanted to be a grifter. And guess what? He's not very successful. He's successful being a grifter, but he didn't make a lot of money at it. But fact of the matter is, the guy has gone for years, I think a couple decades, without having a job. Well, he thinks he's independent. He thinks he's free. That's not the way it seems to me. I don't see the independence in bumming off other people, where you have to live in someone else's basement or their spare bedroom or whatever until they figure out that you're a narcissist and they give you the boot. But they tend to be moochers. They don't have jobs. Number 3 is because they don't have jobs, they tend to lack resources. Money is one of the resources that narcissists seem to lack the most. And again, I know exceptions to this. I know a narcissist or a person who is very controlling, has narcissistic tendencies, who has held down a job, has a retirement program, and doing fine financially. But I know other narcissists more so, who just don't have jobs. And if they get a job, their purpose of having a job is not to earn money, but to find a way to scam money off their employer somehow, some way. And they also tend not to have family. So they have no friends, no job, no money, no family. Okay, they have relatives, obviously. They had to have parents. They wouldn't be here. So they don't have a close family. Typically, they are almost always divorced. And no, not all divorced people are narcissists. I think that should go without saying. But a narcissist would have a very difficult time holding down, I don't want to say holding down a spouse. That doesn't sound right. But maintaining a relationship with just about anybody for any reason over any extended period of time, because ultimately they get found out. They're just naturally so abusive, and they belittle people and take advantage of people and sometimes hurt people physically, that rational people want to get away from them. And if they can't get the narcissist out of their house, they'll get away from the narcissist one way or the other. So no friends, no job, no money, no family, and consequently they have no independence. They think they do. But they don't know what independence is, because they are relying on supply. And by supply, we mean anything that enhances or builds their ego. Anything that that inflates their ego. That is supplied to a narcissist, and he has like an addiction, or she would have a dependency on getting that supply. That is not independent. So, I don't know, you go down in parts of the city, inner city, and you see people that are dependent on narcotics or whatever. Now what? Look at these people. Do they look independent to you? They don't have jobs. They don't have friends. They don't have money. They live like narcissists. The only difference is their dependency is on narcotics, where a narcissist dependency is on getting that ego boost, getting his or her supply. And number 6, obviously, then, they have no stability. Virtually every narcissist that I've ever known, some exceptions again, they're always running. I mean, they're always looking over their shoulder because they have hurt, offended so many people that they have what I call justified paranoia. I call it justified because, these people are out to hurt them, out to get them. Now, most people that a narcissist screws over, most of them have a life to live. They got better things to do than chase this person around. But there are other people who become, seriously offended. And sometimes it's justified. And I have seen this where a narcissist or someone I thought was a narcissist had people literally stalking him because he had slandered and smeared them, and they wanted to get retribution. So, they don't have any stability. They're always running. They have this justified paranoia, and it's not just the people they offended, but sometimes because they think they're above the law, they have a problem with the law. And often they're being sued by people that they have scammed, and sometimes they are being sought after by law enforcement authorities in various jurisdictions. I know one narcissist, he had, take a look at the public records, and he had, over 50 different incidents where he was either sued or prosecuted. Something happened. There was some court record relating to something that he had did, and that was over a relatively short period of time. I think maybe, 15 years. But the point is, they're always being chased, and not only that, they're always chasing. So when we say no stability, we mean that they're always being chased, and they are always chasing. What are they chasing? Well, again, it's kind of like someone who has a dependency on narcotics. So the narcissist is always chasing that perfect high, that perfect individual that they can scam, and the person just will not leave them. Again, like a surfer, that perfect wave, that perfect high. And it never happens because ultimately they always get found out. So they're just not stable. They have to go from supply to supply. Number 7 is they have no character. Now keep in mind, I always point this out, that there is a difference between the character and one's reputation. Character is who you truly are, whereas reputation is what people think you are, who people think you are. So you could have a very good reputation where people think that you're good, or at least if you're a narcissist, people who don't know you very well. Because you're charismatic and you know how to fool people, that's what you do. But these people, they don't have any character. A narcissist has no character. If she wouldn't be a narcissist. And what happens is, as they get older, it gets worse because the more people they have offended, the more people are out to get them. They have not learned to develop their character, but what they have learned is to be better at being narcissists. They've learned to be better at being scammers. They've learned to be better at getting caught. So they may or may not have a good or bad reputation, but their character, you can't assassinate their character because they don't have one to assassinate. They're just totally gone. Number 8, they have no deep relationships. We mentioned earlier that they don't have any family, they don't have any friends, but when it comes to a deep, lasting, imbibing relationship, they don't have that. They may have people who are close to them, people like me, when I was close to a narcissist because I was duped, I was fooled by this guy. And I thought we were really good friends. I thought we hit it off. I thought we had each other's back, and I just fooled. I was being duped. So people would see us and they think these guys are really good friends. So didn't just fool me, fooled everybody. But then after I was onto this guy and, final discard, and I went Grey Rock, then sometimes people would come up to him and they would say, "What happened to Ken?" And it'd tell them whatever you wanted them to believe. That was part of the smear campaign. Number 9 is they have no peace. Now keep in mind, we said they have trouble with the law. One way or the other, somehow or another, they always have trouble with the law because they're always getting into trouble with the law because they don't pay their bills, they don't pay their rent, some of them. They do scam people. They do things that are illegal. As we said earlier, they believe they are entitled, that they are above the law. And so, how can you have any peace when you're always having trouble with law enforcement? How can you have true peace when you're always being followed, stalked sometimes by your victims or friends and family of victims? There is 2 rectangles on the screen. If you like what you hear, all you got to do is click one of those 2 rectangles to keep on talking. Thank you for stopping by, and we'll see y'all next time.